an article of Politico here, explaining that Wall Street's going to have a fit if Clinton picks Warren as VP. I think that what the article is articulating is what I would expect Hillary's logic to be. She wants an insider to help her get an agenda through, and Warren is consequently not just useless, but a potential liability. Now, let's take a step back here and talk about politics. I think that that's very much true, right? But does Hillary think that she needs Warren to win Sanders supporters? If she does, one could make an argument that this is a kind of smoke and mirrors, right? See, I've been pushing back against the idea that Warren is anyway left-wing. I think she's a Republican from a past era and kind of a fish out of water. There's a pretty big swath of space to the left of Ted Cruz before you get to be called left-wing, after all. She's a good way to the right of Sanders still. Rumor has it that she's even the author of Clinton's bizarrely Calvinist debt-free tuition plan that would convert students into slave labor for corporate interests, but would keep them out of debt. So, we'll keep you out of debt, but you got to work in a sweatshop for 6 hours a day while you're in school. And truthfully, it'll probably keep them out of graduation too. It's hard to study when you're making shoes for Nike. It's the next logical step of the school-to-prison pipeline system, really, which, frankly, is going to consider spending resources on your schooling pointless unless you're getting a scholarship. That's the actual truth nowadays, okay? That's the part that nobody wants to acknowledge. If you're not getting a scholarship, then you're wasting your time in school anyways, right? And so that's the way the system's actually designed, is that the kids that are going to get somewhere don't pay to go to school. And the kids that are never going to get anywhere do pay to go to school. And they pay the schooling for the kids that are going to get somewhere. But that's not really what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is more... that doesn't sound so scary. And if you're Wall Street, and I don't really see why Wall Street would think that Elizabeth Warren is so scary. Because she's really kind of right up their alley, if you really understand her policy proposals properly. So what's going on here? I mean, what I see here is not a reason that she wouldn't get the pick. It would be a reason that she would, because she's the reformed Republican, right? She is very much like Clinton in a specific way. She spent most of her life as a Republican. She's very much a right-leaning Democrat. Like, what is this? Like I say, could it be smoke and mirrors? It might be if Clinton thinks that she really does need Warren to help her beat Trump, right? However, I think that that's a little bit of a creative reading. Rather, I think that what they're trying to get across is that Elizabeth Warren doesn't have those backroom channels, right? And so she's useless as a VP pick. I haven't seen Bill's name thrown around, okay, but he might honestly be her ideal choice because that's what she wants. She wants somebody who can make backroom deals of questionable legality. That's the number one pick for the job, right? The number one qualification for the job is you have to be able to help Clinton carry out corrupt deals. And the second thing is you got to be a foreign policy hawk. Because if you're not a foreign policy hawk, the deals she wants are not going to make sense to you, right? So, arms deals with Saudi Arabia, for example. There's a fly in here. Those little ones. That kind of thing. That's what she's going to do. That's what she does, right? She works for the arms industry. She sells guns. That's her major job, right? So, I mean, from what she's thinking about, this isn't going to be a political pick. It's going to be a policy pick. She doesn't really want to pick somebody that's going to help her win. I don't think she thinks she needs someone that's going to help her win. I think that she thinks she can win on her own. She wants to pick somebody that's going to help her with policy. And what is her policy? Corrupt deals and war. Corrupt deals for war. She's, in a lot of ways, she's Dick Cheney on steroids. Okay? And that's what we're going to get. If or when she wins. Okay? So there is that obscure reading that this is, how do you, calm the nerves of Sanders supporters is you make it look like Wall Street is really scared of her, even though, she works for Wall Street, right? Smoke and mirrors. But I think that, in fact, she doesn't have those connections that Clinton wants on a policy level. And that's why she's an unlikely pick. I still think Franken is the only pick I've seen that I'd actually support, but like I say, I've been clear that I don't expect her to pick somebody I'd support. Whoever she picks is primarily going to be a hawk. It's the biggest thing, because that person has to help her sell, or has to help her get or carry out arms deals, because that's going to be her major role as commander-in-chief, is to facilitate the weapons manufacturers in the United States find markets primarily in the third world. That's going to be her major role as president. That's her big deal. That's what she's going to do, right? And so she needs somebody that can help her do that. And Warren is not that person.